Hi, thanks for joining me today. Excuse the wobbly selfie stick. I am in this absolutely beautiful country place today, and this is all about, I'll get a better shot of it in a minute, my really lovely e-bike. I absolutely love this e-bike. Had it a little bit over a year. I got it in July 2024 at enormous expense. There was money off, actually. They were trying to get rid of them, but I'm certainly not trying to get rid of mine. I'm delighted with it. Done many trips on this thing, and it really is working very well. So let's take a look. It's a Bosch motor, and it's very good. I would say it's probably the best, and I'm sure it's the best UK legal e-bike motor at the moment. It is quite powerful, and it's a mid motor. I don't know if you can see, but if you have a look, maybe zoom in a little bit if you can. I can't seem to zoom in on my camera today, but we won't let that worry us. If you zoom in a little bit to the pedals, you'll kind of see that it's all blanked off there. The Bosch motor is on the other side. I will take a photo of it and kind of upload it somehow into this video, but I can't get the light on it. It's just one of those days today, isn't it? But there you go, wonderful e-bike. The seat post is fabulous. It's being, you know, sort of, I suppose you'd call it a high-end bike. I wanted to get something that would last. The seat post does spring up. There's a lever under the left-hand side of the handlebars so that the seat can actually spring up. And when you sit on it, you push that lever, the seat will come down to a comfortable height for you. And if, like me, you suffer from extreme bad legs, which I have to admit I do. I can't balance very well. It's taken me a long time to learn to ride this, but it's all made easier because when I have to stop, I can just press that lever underneath the handlebars and the seat will come shooting down to its lowest position, and I will then automatically have both feet on the ground. So that is absolutely great. It has LED head and tail lights. They aren't on at the moment, but when it's dark, I will take pictures of those too, and you can have a look at those as well. Front and rear disc brakes, I think that's a bit of a mistake, to be quite honest. I mean, rim brakes have always been fine. It's true there's a lot more power there, but there are many of the less expensive e-bikes just have rim brakes, and they cost a hell of a lot less to fix. And I'm not seeing massive reports of people dying on bikes because they had rim brakes. So there you go. It's a 5-speed setup there. On the back it's a nice Shimano 5-speed unit. It's a lot like the old kind of Raleigh BSA, going right back to the beginning of bicycles, really. It's got that kind of hub gear shift, so none of the cogs are exposed apart from the one on the outside. So there is that gear unit, and it's a very good gear unit. It really is. It's given me great service. And there is so it's one of these grippy things, you know. So we are back at the ranch because it was absolutely hammering it down with rain. So this thing here, right, this does not come with a bike, but it's very cheap. I got it from Amazon. This is the bell. And then if you want to turn left, you press L. And you get a left turn arrow. Going straight again, press the top one. And it does that all the way along. You turn right as well. And if you're stopping, you just press that. Don't know why it looks like, oh, it's an exclamation mark. I thought it looked rather like a fish there for a minute. And then we've got the Bosch Kiox. And there's a little button which is right off camera, as you would expect it to be, really. And the Kiox comes on. It unlocks the bike. You have to sort of link it to the Kiox, but that's pretty easy. And it's a fantastic heads-up display, really. It's in tour now. You come down into eco mode. Uses a bit less electricity and a bit more of your legs. You can come into off altogether, which I must admit I very rarely use, but that is just pedaling it. Being an e-bike, though, it's pretty heavy, so I don't think I'm doing too badly by actually using the motor most of the time. And there are several settings. We come up a bit, so there's eco mode again, Tour Plus mode again. That's the one I always set off in. And sport and turbo. There's not much difference between turbo and sport, just a little bit. You feel it kind of pulling you along a little bit sort of more strongly, just a tiny difference between turbo and sport. Quite a difference between the rest of them, though. Tour Plus here is great. I find that if I put it in second gear and then take off in Tour Plus, it's so easy. Certainly on the flat anyway. It might be trickier on a hill to go off. I think on a hill I would want to use Sport really to get going, but it gets going really nicely in Tour Plus. It's very easy to actually operate. So that's the Kiox. It does other things. It kind of tells you how far you've gone, all that kind of good stuff, how much battery's left, what range you've got. And so in the red one here, number 7, well, it's not showing it, it's in Tour Plus at the moment, so 12, it's got 12 miles left, and it is a year-old battery, so don't hold this against it. It's 40% of the battery, and 12 miles left in Tour. We just go along into, let me see, Eco. We've got 16 miles left in Eco, but if we're going to insist on Sport, we have only got 8 miles. And if we're going to insist on Turbo, we've only got 7 miles. But the Turbo is great. You're just basically making no effort at all on the flat. And it'll pull you up a reasonable hill quite nicely in Turbo. And I'm pleasantly surprised by how nicely it pulls you up a hill. Actually, it's very, very hilly and very mountainous in this area where I live, and it's really quite difficult to imagine that you would be able to ride any kind of bike that isn't a motorbike actually up one of those steep hills. But as long as you get a good run into it on the way down the previous hill, you get halfway up the next hill before you have to start pedaling. And if you're actually in turbo mode, then it's fine. It just really pulls you up nicely. Beautiful thing, works really well. Let's just take a look at the thing that controls the Kiox. Absolutely hammering it down with rain now. Okay, so there it is. It's in turbo mode now. If I come down into sport mode, it does that. Down again into Tour Plus, which that's the setting I use most of the time, Tour Plus. Nice and blue. And there we are, green. That's eco mode. And if we come down again, it just goes off. But we do have these two lights here, and this is because it's kind of under 50%. Each one of these bars is 20%. So you've got 20%, 40% where it is now, 60%, 80%, and 100%. But I must charge it up. It's nice to run these batteries between 50% and 80%. It just works better. But sometimes you use a bit more than that when you're out on the road. Simple as that. And this is the thing I was on about that affects the seat. I'll take a longer shot, actually, then you can have a look at it. But it's nice and convenient there. Nice and easy to use. So here is the sort of rear parcel. What is it? No, it's not a parcel shelf, is it? It's the rack thing, you know what I mean? Now, you can actually buy things from Raleigh which are very expensive, which will clip straight onto that. I haven't done that, but I have put panniers over it, actually. And it's great for panniers. It's just the right width. It's everything. It's not really the right height, though, because this is essentially a Raleigh 20, and so it's quite low. It's quite near the pedals. You can see the pedal there, and it's only halfway up its stroke. And it's, you know, if you had a pannier on there, your foot would already be touching the pannier, and you'd get mud all over the pannier. And that's not a problem, but the big problem is you would kick the living daylights out of whatever's in the pannier, because your foot would just keep hitting it, and the same would happen on the other side. And in with that is the rear light. It's not really showing how bright it is. It's very, very bright. And it looks nice as well. You know, nice red LEDs. They don't drain the battery. And very happy about that. As promised, the front light as well. Incredibly bright. And again, LED. So we are fine with daylight running. And if I just come down a little bit, you can see, I hope, it's got a reflector underneath there as well. You see that? Little reflector, so that just adds to whatever headlight a car might have or something, a motorbike that's coming towards you with its headlights on. It'll get a little extra flash there. It's a very small lamp, but that's modern LEDs for you. It's really good quality, and if we just come around a bit, you can see it is a light move. Oh, I thought it was light move and a number. It's a light move. Simple as that. It's very good indeed. Everything on this bike is really high quality. Actually, I did say it's a high-end bike, and you can see there it's by Raleigh, Nottingham, England. It's actually made in Holland, so that's slightly naughty. And I have changed the pedals as well. It comes with perfectly good pedals, but I've had a stroke. I'm like kind of paralysed down one side, or at least a little bit paralysed. See if I can get a closer look at that. There we are. So I bought these pedals, these metal pedals, which have little spikes on them, and it stops your foot slipping off. That's the main thing. My foot would slip off, and then I'd have to stop the bike because I couldn't guide my foot back onto that pedal. I'm okay with the other leg, but I thought I might as well put the same pedals on both sides, so I did. Slight beef with this bike, and it's a very good bike. I really got no complaints. If you just look at the welding there, it is difficult to weld aluminium. It certainly is, quite a task, and it needs special kit and everything. But this is, this is a serious bike factory that we're dealing with here. And I really think they could have got the welds a little bit better. It's pretty much the same everywhere you look. We come to there, where the bar's joined into the middle. I mean, they've done their best to clean it up, and it's reasonably smooth, but that does not half stick out, my friends. It really doesn't. Same story pretty much everywhere it's welded. You can see there lumpy welds, but it's made out of aluminium. It's as light as it can be. If you take the battery out, it's very light, but I can't get the battery out. I can't. That isn't a common problem with modems, as far as I know. But this one, for some reason, I could probably pull it harder and get the battery out, but I don't want to rip the contacts out of it. I'll let the bike shop do that if that needs to happen. The battery actually locks in. This is the lock here, and it comes with the key, and then it just kind of drops down, and I reckon you can probably pull the battery out. I'm just paranoid of damaging it. There's a charging port here. Close-up of the motor, as promised. Really, really good motor, actually. Being in the UK, it's only like 250 watts or something, but somehow it's more than adequate, and that mid-mounted position gives you just kind of, I don't know, really, honestly, what exactly it's called, but it's better with a mid-motor. It really is. If you know about mid-motors and why they're good, please drop it in the comments. Really nice, sturdy cranks on the pedals. And a nice kickstand. Let me just demonstrate the kickstand. Just go like that a bit. Oh. Not easy on a lumpy track. There we go. That's the kickstand out of the way. But it's a nice solid kickstand. It's really good. And like I keep saying, I'm delighted with the whole bike. And that is the charger. And there you have it. Absolutely great bike. I keep saying how pleased I am with it. It really is a good one. Now, if you're on a budget, it's more difficult, but you can actually get hold of a fairly cheap Chinese e-bike, about £700 or £800, and you're going to be home and dry. They'll deliver it to your house and everything. I went with this because I could. I've paid my house off, and after the last mortgage payment, I decided to get one of these, which costs nearly as much as a mortgage, but in my case only about 3 years, because that's how I did it. So in some ways it's affordable, it's not the worst thing in the world to try and get hold of one. Totally legal in every sense. You don't need insurance. You can get insurance actually, and it might not be a bad idea, but I'm right out in the country here. I'm not going to scratch someone's car with it or anything like that. I even go out on the main road sometimes to go shopping, and just haven't even come close to having an accident yet. Drivers seem to be understanding that e-bikes are, well, they might not think they're a good thing, but they're actually willing to tolerate the things, which is great. The Raleigh Modum, ride one today if you possibly can. If you possibly can't, do think about getting an e-bike. It saves a hell of a lot on car repairs, and it's just, costs about the same as a second-hand car, to be honest, but it saves on all those car repairs. It's absolutely wonderful in that sense. It has a 200-mile service interval, and that is my only beef with it, because I live 20 miles from the shop. So 40 miles there and back to drop it off for a service, another 40 miles there and back to go and collect it. So instead of 200 miles, really you're only actually saving the planet, as it were, at 120 miles. Not sure what I think. Well, I am sure what I think about that. I think it could be better, but they will get better. They're getting better all the time. And, grab yourself an e-bike. It's worth it.